Hey everybody, Rorree here. Welcome. Tonight we are doing a little teaser. Well, actually, let me scratch that. We were going to do a little teaser for our 90-day manifestation program. But now we're going to kind of go back a little bit and really get into how you crystallize your goals. And then on Sunday evening, when we have our regular scheduled class, for the goddess initiation, the meditative work that we do for that class, we will incorporate this manifestation activity. So one thing that I want to share about setting a goal before we go into setting goals is a little story that I was about to share before when we were offline. So one day, this is about goals being realistic or unrealistic. So one day I was sitting at a restaurant with my former business partner. And at the time, I was living in Sacramento, California. I owned a house. I owned one house at this time. And at the time, we were doing real estate and land development. So it was actually a home that I owned on our own lot. It was our first three. Was it our first three? No. We had built a small community. This was our second subdivision that had my home in it, right? And it was so awesome because this was such a great accomplishment for us because we were like just starting to grow in real estate and land development. So my brother came to California to live and to kind of mentor underneath me. And my mother came over as well to kind of be there to support him. So at the time, I was living in my home on our estate. It was called Bolden Estates. And so I'm living in this home. And how many bedrooms did I have? I think I had 4 bedrooms and 2 or 3 baths or something like that. But with them in my home, it was like too crowded for me. And the different energies in my home just wasn't to my liking. So I decided I don't want to do this anymore. And so we went out to my favorite restaurant at the time, which was called Il Fornaio. It was an Italian restaurant. And so we're sitting there, and I always would travel with my journal. So I don't do that now because, hey, I hardly travel now with, with us being shut down and stuff. But I used to always travel with a journal in hand, right? And I would write down things. So we were at Il Fornaio. I had my journal, and I was kind of complaining about my scenario. But one thing about me, I have trained myself to, if I have a problem, I will come up with a couple of solutions to the problem. I do not murmur and complain about problems. When I start talking about a problem, I immediately go to, well, maybe we can do this and this and this. Those of you who work with me know that's how my mind operates. It might annoy some people because I'm always going to, well, maybe we should do this and this. And if you're above me in rank, you might get annoyed that I'm always coming up with solutions. So anyway, so we're sitting there at Il Fornaio, and I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work. And so I do this thing called Wouldn't It Be Nice If? And I was like, man, wouldn't it be nice if I could just like go find another house and buy it and just move in and let them have my house? I said that flippantly, okay? I said, you know what? Let me get my journal. And so I'm going to pull this little journal. So I do carry a little teeny mini journal, but I used to carry a bigger journal around with me. So I pulled out my journal. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write down everything that I want in my new house. Because guess what? I know we're in land development, but I want a house now. I don't want to have to build a house. I want a house now. And I bet you I could find a house with everything that I want in it. And I bet you I could get that house. So I wrote down everything that I wanted. And we had a wonderful working dinner, right? I'm writing down everything I want in my house. Ooh, and I'm excited. So I'm feeling what it feels like. So I've kind of trained myself to do this, right? So I'm feeling what it feels like to have this house, and I'm creating it in my notepad, right? And so I'm creating what I want. Ooh, oh my gosh. And I want this, right? And so now it's dinner time, right? So it's getting dark outside. And I said, you know what? I know it's getting dark outside, but let's go look. I bet you we can find something, right? So we go looking. Now it's dark outside, right? And we're looking in the area that I wrote that I want to live in because I don't want a long commute to my office. So we go around looking. We turn a corner. I said, I think I want to live over here. We turn a corner. There's a house. It's for sale. They have the little box in the yard with the little leaflets in it. I said, pull over. I jump out. I go get the little leaflet. Oh my gosh, look at this. You know how they list what it is? And then they had a picture of the foyer. It was like so beautiful. It had marble tile. It had this stairway that went up and around. I was like, oh my God, look what it has in it. Oh my God, look at my paper. It had, oh my gosh, this is my house, right? So we had an in-house broker because we were doing real estate land development. So, hey, Lois, I want this house. Now, I ain't seen the house on the inside. I just saw a picture and description, but it was so what I wrote that I knew that was my house. So I emailed Lois. Now, this is nighttime. Hey, Lois, in the morning, I want to see this house. I want to put a contract on this house. This is my house. Okay. So she said, okay. Next morning, Lois had me in there. I saw the house. All right, Lois, I want this. It's mine. By the end of that day, the house was mine. I had an accepted offer on the house. You know what I'm saying? So I was about to say, as we are doing our goals, that it could be unrealistic to say, I want to buy a house and then do this activity that we're going to do on Sunday. And then on Monday, the house is yours. I could say that's unrealistic, but somebody could have said that to me because it does. Don't that sound kind of unrealistic? That sounds kind of crazy, right? But that's exactly how it happened. No joke. That is exactly what happened. And so don't discount your goals. Don't minimize things because you think it's unrealistic. Okay. Now, I want to tell you the other part of the story. My credit was fine. I had money. I had cash in the bank. Okay. I wasn't rolling in the dough at the time, though. Okay. At that time, I was not millionaire status. Okay. I was making some money. I was self-employed, business owner. So I had some positives in my pocket. You know what I mean? But I could have gotten outbid. Somebody else could have wanted the house. Someone else could have made an offer. Maybe my credit might not have been good enough. I don't know. But I'm just letting you know, I wasn't going into the situation with bad credit. Now, my credit was not in the 700s at that time. It was in the 600s. So I didn't have excellent credit, but I didn't have bad credit either. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need an FHA loan. You know what I mean? I could afford the mortgage that I received. So I say all that to say, these are some of the things that you have to take into consideration when you are putting your goals together. Thank you for watching. Before we close, I want to invite you to join us in exploring the female divinity system using the African Goddess Initiation Manual by Abiola Abrams. We're looking for women who desire to awaken their goddess energies so that they can learn how to love themselves the most, so they can spread their magic all over the planet, so they can manifest the prosperity that is theirs by divine right, and so that they can move on this journey of theirs with ease and on purpose. The goddesses must be awakened. So if you're ready to elevate your life and you want to be a part of this mission, look in the description box.